Testing, testing. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Yeah, no, the sound wasn't working. I had to move a bunch of stuff out of here because of the carpet cleaners. So I just moved it back in. I just moved my stuff back in. Speak up. It was mute. There was no way for me to speak up. It's working. Yeah, I can see. Thoughts on the Lane Kiffin situation? I think you know what I might have to do a video on it. I think it's terrible for college football. Just absolutely atrocious. How are there not guardrails in place to where you shouldn't be able to contact coaches during the season? I don't know. I mean, coaches that have been fired I can understand, but no, it's just horrible. It's atrocious. Trump didn't sound well. I think Trump lost his voice. Trump lost his voice, I believe. That's probably why it didn't sound well, hopefully. You had urban movers. I had to hire urban movers. Yeah, urban movers came by to clean the carpets. What did you invest your 7K from last night's stream into? NSDQ 420. I got it on the lows. Buy the dip. Buy the dip from the 7K from the Israelis. Trump did his iconic dance. Did you see Trump didn't disavow Nick Tucker? Yeah, I mean, I talked about it yesterday when it was because last night it happened. So, yeah, I saw it. I think Trump is being advised to just stay out of it, and it makes sense. If he disavows, it's like a neocon position. So it makes sense to remain almost neutral. I mean, the Zionists won't take it as neutral. They'll be very angry, but I think some of them were trying to spin it anyways, and so it's kind of like a neutral thing for Trump. Thoughts on MTG versus Trump conflict? I don't think it's a big issue for Trump at all. MTG is kind of just a nothing burger when if you think about it. I don't think it's a real problem, honestly. I mean, even if she wants to run for president, is that really going to be the America First candidate? I don't think it's going to go well for her. I don't think that's going to go. You lost all respect for MTG going on CNN. Yeah, she's doing like a liberal grift where she's trying to reach both sides and people aren't having it because of the Charlie Kirk assassination. Like what is this? This is stupid. What's your take on Ted Cruz running for president? It reminds me of Mike Pence running for president in 2024. It seems like a giant waste of time and a waste of money. It's going to be a waste for the Jewish donors if they put some money into Ted Cruz. I don't even think they're dumb enough to put money into Ted Cruz, even if he's going to shill all the Zionist positions. It's just there's no way Ted Cruz is going to win anything. He could be an adjutant, maybe. Maybe he's an adjutant like Chris Christie was in 24. Did you see Candace's new take today? I did. I think it's ridiculous. She's just milking it, and it's really sad. It really is. She's back to the Egyptian airplane. I mean, come on, lady, with the Charlie Kirk, because she knows if she puts Charlie Kirk in the title, it's gonna get more views. It's insane. And she tweets out something today saying that, "Oh, I've got this big breaking scoop." Ugh, I don't even know what it was. It was just about the fucking airplane, and it's actually Erica Kirk who they're spying on or some bullshit. I don't even know. Did you see the Dems saying MTG is ours now? Yeah, obviously, I don't think that's true. I thought she was kind of running in the opposite way of that. Like, why she's trying to bridge the gap. I thought her whole thing was no, Trump's not going far enough. But apparently, she's liberal on, or more liberal on immigration, some of the stuff she said in her history. So I don't even know what she's doing. If you don't like Candace, or you declared, dude, Candace is off the rails. It doesn't even make sense, the shit that she's saying. She's doing it because it gets views. That's it. Like, you want to believe this shit like about an Egyptian airplane, and how many episodes on the Egyptian airplane do we need to have before she gets her fucking extra pension? I mean, that's basically what it is. Would you kiss the wall for additional 7K bonus? That'd be a profitable venture for me. Maybe I get a free trip. Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. I mean, that's a biblical place. I mean, sounds like a great deal to me. Thoughts on Franklin to VT? That's a good hire for them. You know, Franklin's a good coach. He can recruit. He's going to get a bunch of those solid lower end 4 stars and coach them up. And, that's a conference to where he can succeed in. They could win 8, 9 games. They can be stable. I don't really see him turning them into any type of powerhouse or anything, but they could be a stable, good team that maybe 1 out of every 3 years is a chance for a playoff spot because the ACC is so bad. That would be my summary of that hiring. It's like Virginia. That's a pretty fertile recruiting area for like mid tier 4 stars, which is kind of like right up Franklin's alley. It's still close to Pennsylvania. You got the Maryland area. BTC is going to 75K. It's at 91 right now. It's just bad, man. It's really bad. What's wrong with Shador Sanders? He's obviously he struggled. I mean, he's not going to be a good quarterback. Shador Sanders. They're gonna have to draft one as, and you got all these Shador Sanders fans now. It's just not a good situation. We don't want to deal with these people, all these fans who hate the Browns, but they like Shador Sanders. I mean, come on. Was an MTG a big Trump ally in 2020, even back election rigging claims? Yeah. Play some clips from the Trump rally. Trump had a rally? Really? Did you see the dude who did the pose after he sacked him? Yeah, I saw that. Do you see the possibilities of the Raiders Chargers swapping Raiders back to Los Angeles? I saw. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see. I mean, I know the premise of it. I didn't really see any detailed reviews of it. I don't know. I'm not even sure how that would work, honestly. Stop the Bitcoin bleeding. I know it's bad. I mean, it's like tempting to DCA, but it's like I said I wasn't going to DCA anything at this point because it's just throwing money into slop right now. Apparently, MTG and Nancy Pelosi has Nancy Pelosi levels of luck with stocks. They all do. They all have Nancy Pelosi level. They're all insider trading stocks. Obviously, they know things behind the scenes, and with that, you just need a 15 or a 20x on some level of knowledge. Like there's something's going to get okayed to where a company is going to be able to start trials on something, and you invest into it beforehand, and that's it. Something big is going on behind closed doors. There's always big stuff going on behind closed doors. That's Is the Canada special election going to happen? I don't know. I know some people were saying it's possible. I don't know. I think those politics are kind of retarded. I mean, you're going to have an election 5 months after you just had one. That's kind of dumb. Like, let's be honest. And look, I know the liberal won and it's bad, but what's the point of having an election if you can just have another election in 5 months? I think that's ridiculous. Like, they just randomly schedule elections. What type of process is that? Where they just randomly schedule elections. We're just going to call an election in 3 months. Elijah Schaffer, yeah, I don't know what happened with that. He's getting sued by the Kash Patel's girlfriend. What a mess. What a mess that is. I don't even know how do you even sue someone for defamation for a retweet or something? And then there's all these Zionist people that are supporting it, and it's just a total mess. Like, they talk about the history of Elijah Schaffer, and there's so many of these, like, micro stories happening. It's just like, I just can't keep up with these things. Did you see President Trump showing Israel fatigue by not bashing? Well, I don't think that really has anything to do with that. I mean, Trump has to know that he's seen as kind of, a lot of young people see him, as a cuck to Israel. I think he doesn't like that, but Trump was probably just advised to not disavow and just stay neutral on it, is my guess. I don't know. I don't know how that even how you can sue someone. Defamation is one of the hardest things to sue off of. They get. I think it's just a fishing expedition to waste money, which is insane that they would do that and utilize that power. But have you seen the clip of the representative from Virgin Islands texting Epstein while in a hearing? No, I haven't seen that clip. Let's hope they get these Epstein files released, man. It's just really they're gonna release something tomorrow, I believe, or they're gonna vote on releasing something. Congress is. Saturday Night Live slandering the sitting U.S. president. Dude, who cares? Who like? Why do people care? Like, oh, they made a joke about Trump. Like, who fuck them? Who gives a shit? I don't care. That's the thing. People just get emotional about it. It's like Saturday Night Live makes a joke about Trump. I've watched Saturday Night Live for all of 1 second in the past like 5 years. I just don't care. I wish Trump did that more. It's just like, just don't give these people airwave. It's the best thing you can do. Just who cares? Yeah, thank you. I did get a haircut. I was seeing if somebody was going to notice that. Yeah, I did get a haircut today. Have you seen how much deeper the New York Times went with Crooks News? Found even more than Carlson. Yeah, no, I hear that, and I saw it was looks like a furry ups. I mean, this is every single one of them at this point, like a furry obsession. there seriously is an issue. I mean, if you're into furries, if you've got like trans ideology, there is some serious mental health problems, and it's obvious as to why. If you're giving the your body the opposite hormones, it's gonna probably fuck up your brain. And so, well, I'm not saying this kid was trans. He wasn't, but it seemed like people are saying he potentially was venturing into like that type of world of like I don't know exactly what they said, but I was reading stuff about it today. They were looking through some stuff. Trump talking about dinner with Fuentes. He just got asked about it and said that whatever. He just not gave a non-answer basically. I mean, I thought Trump lost his voice today. I don't know how he gave a speech because I saw Trump in the Oval Office and he sounded really hoarse. Here's the next step of the Epstein stuff. House votes tomorrow. 90% will support. It will go to Senate, where there's no current indicators of what they'll do. Then it goes to Trump, who can veto. I mean, if it goes to Trump, there's no way he can veto. You know how much of a bad look that would be, unless they somehow like they would have to come up with something insane if it gets through the Senate. All right, I'll pin the Discord. Yeah, I'll pin the Discord. We don't really get many people, but I'll pin it. Look up the clip. Look up the clip I mentioned earlier in the email about Trump and Bubba. Discord has been fun lately. I've been using the Discord. I'm not as active as I used to be more active. Top three things to dump. Top three things to dump life savings in while market is down. Well, I don't even know if is the stock market down significantly. It's. I mean, I'm not going to advise you to dump money into fucking crypto into altcoins, dude. It's just not. It's just not wise. I can't really advise that. I mean, QQQ is probably you know the Nasdaq index fund, but yeah, I don't know, man. The thing is I don't even know stocks to get to get to recommend for you, and I don't even know if the stock market is down all that much. I don't even fucking pay attention to the stock market unless there's tweets about it because I don't own any stocks. VTI ETF is an amazing return year after year. What percent is it? Solana? Yeah, I mean I know Solana's a little bit down. It's at like 150. Yeah, you could say Solana's honestly you could argue Solana's a good buy if you think the cycle is still going. I tend to think the cycle is still going, but maybe that might be a little bit. I mean, we're gonna have to have a real extended cycle if this is the case, because I feel like we've just fucking a lot of these charts have become invalidated to where we need a full recovery now, and so it's gonna be another 4 or 5 months. But I don't know. Maybe Bitcoin makes a quick recovery. It's possible, but now Ethereum is under 3,000. Will Two World Trade Center be built? I think it's going to be built. I was told it was going to be built. I think it's going to be built within the next. I mean, they have to build it because they already have the foundation done. They're going to build it. It just depends on the design, and they're gonna have to rent that area out. It's probably gonna be high rise luxury apartments. Even if the files are fully released, they're just yeah, no, 100%. But honestly, we have to say a lot of that is the administration's own fault. You know, they lost the narrative on it. So Trump will release stuff, and then they'll say, well, they scrubbed out the Trump parts, and so that's. But I don't know. I mean, maybe if it's through Congress, it'll seem more authentic. I don't know. You know, it's dude. I've been getting fucking just if I play any of this music, it's not gonna work. I just can't play any of the music. You know. Thoughts on applesauce? What is that? A code? Code for something? No, I like applesauce. The actual what is it? A liquid? I mean, I don't know what to say, but I like applesauce. I do like. I haven't had applesauce in years, but applesauce is good. You know, it will save crypto no tax on capital gains. Yeah, but how is that gonna get? I don't think they're gonna be able to push that through. You know how angry a bunch of people would get that are in the stock market if crypto got no tax on capital gains. I don't see how that gets pushed through. Are you gonna move this winter or wait till spring? Probably the winter. I think Trump lost his voice. That's why he didn't sound good. If I had to guess, it didn't really seem like there was anything else wrong with him other than his voice was just a little coarse. I mean, I'm sure there's no way he would be taking those questions and doing all these, doing all this stuff if it was for if he had an actual sickness. You ever have rice pudding? No. Applesauce is a sauce. It kind of is actually when you think about it, because like, do you really eat it on its own? I mean, you can eat applesauce on its own, especially homemade applesauce that's warm. Yeah, you can definitely eat that on its own. But the store bought applesauce, eating it on its own it's really kind of bland, or it just doesn't taste like anything. And so it's normally with like um, pork chops is what you eat applesauce with. Weirdest chat you ever received? I'd have to remember the one that I got. Yeah, I got some bad ones for sure, but I'd have to remember it. There was one, I forget what it said though. People criticize Trump for tariffs, but we've had tariffs in the country for. People are gonna criticize Trump for fucking tying his shoe. I mean, it's whatever, man. But no, the reason they criticize him for the tariffs is because of the aggressiveness of the tariffs that he imposed. What's your favorite food? I mean, probably a burger is my favorite food. I do like the Chick-fil-A fries, waffle fries, but maybe a burger. You can't have fries as your favorite food. That's pathetic. That's like third grade level. Where's your accent from? I don't think Ohio. I don't think I really have an accent. Do you eat at Sheets? No, I never really had any food at Sheets, but I know they serve food now. You know they got all these Sheets. I was actually gonna was gonna play that video. I don't know what happens.
Let me tell you, you should have suffered a little while through Kamala. The good news is she had no clue. You just wonder. I want to give an IQ test to Kamala and Biden. Who do you think wins? But they were destroying your businesses. Let me tell you, you should have suffered a little.
Yeah, Trump lost his voice. You ever gonna do another vertical stream? Yeah, I will do another vertical stream. They're kind of awkward, honestly, man. I mean, I feel like I have to set it up on a tripod. It might be better. They are a bit awkward, though. I think vertical streams are more IRL streams versus just me with my face in front of it. I mean, vertical streams, you can get more of organic reach, but so that's why people say you should do them. But I don't really think it does anything for me. But I mean, maybe I should do a few more, and maybe it will. Did you see Michelle Obama's criticism of white people? Yeah, I reacted to that. It's just insane. I don't even know what to say about it. Like, lady, nobody's telling you to straighten your hair. She's like, you have white people beauty standards. Okay, well then make black people beauty standards. I don't know what to tell you. Like, but it's just this constant victimization. Who is still listening to Ben Shapiro and Officer Tatum today? I don't know. I didn't hear anything about Brandon Tatum, but I mean, obviously he's very pro-Israel. The only way to cure the voice, you can't really talk. That's the way you cure the voice issue. So, do you think 2020 election battle between Uniparty, APAC establishment, donor class versus economic populist coalition with America First supporters and Democratic Socialists? Well, you got like four different groups there. Well, no, I don't think. I don't think. Well, I mean, it depends. What do you consider Vance? Like a populist? So then that would be Vance. But then the America First side would be like what? Fucking MTG? Or I don't even know. And then what would the Israel side be? Ted Cruz? There's no way. There's no way there's going to be because they just don't have the support to fight against someone like Vance unless Trump for whatever reason sours on Vance. Do you buy the Crooks bombshell? I mean, isn't like New York Times? Did they produce? I think it's probably pretty accurate. Oh no, it was New York Post. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was the Crooks stuff is really bad because we never, the FBI was not transparent. They said he had no footprint, and then he's got a lot of stuff on the internet, and it's just so bad. I mean, they're just blatantly lying. Yeah, the Crooks stuff. I mean, I don't know about the furry stuff. I mean, they're gonna have to confirm that, I guess, but you know how it is with this. Obviously, he's gonna have a footprint. He's like 19, 20 years old. Now they're saying MK Ultra, but they say that for everyone. That's kind of like slop, but I don't know. Thoughts on getting rid of the filibuster? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. They should have already done it though if they were gonna do it. You voted for Ted Cruz in the 2016 primaries. I don't even think I couldn't even vote in the 2016 primaries. Ted Cruz was like honestly probably second in terms of polling behind Trump. So a lot of people voted for him. How did the Mug Club get the manifestos on the shooter? Because Crowder does have some type of connection. I mean, there's no question. He's done it several times. So obviously he has connections.
So if we put in a new regulation, then we get rid of 10. Otherwise, you don't get the new regulation. And we got rid of the drip drip water. We call it the drip drip, where drip drips out of the sink. States with tremendous water, so much water they have nothing but problems getting rid. They had restrictions on water. It comes down from heaven, right? They had restrictions on water. So you want to wash your hands, or like me, I want to wash my hair. I lather up, then I turn that, and there's no water. The water's drip. They call it. They put a restrictor on. I won't mention the third item in the bathroom because I always
McDonald's.
I used to mention that, but I don't mention it anymore because
Did McDonald's? It looks like.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you shouldn't be owning a McDonald's franchise. You wouldn't do well even with a McDonald's franchise. But no, the water restrictions totally lifted.
Yeah, that's no way to run a society if you have the water restrictions. People can't shower, but that's the liberal restriction when they try and restrict water, and it's not good stuff. And yeah, I think he had a Big Mac or something. Maybe he had a Big Mac. McDonald's Impact Summit. And so Trump gets a lifetime supply of Big Macs if he speaks at this. So it's a good deal. It's a nice deal. Whatever happened to the cinnamon rolls that McDonald's? So do they have the Cinnabon Deluxe? That's not good for you. Yeah, the cinnamon rolls, they retired that off the menu, I think. I never really liked Burger King, but I don't really have fast food burgers. I never really had that. I just have chicken nuggets. Whatever happened to the Oval Office? I thought he was at the Oval Office. Trump assassin Thomas Crooks used they, them transgender pronouns and was obsessed with furries. New York Post says. So we'll have to see. It's. Did you hear Trump say he's okay about attacking Mexico? I think the cartels he's probably saying he's okay with attacking. But he said that he's had that stance for a while about the cartels. There might have to be some intervening into that because it's really bad and it creates a bad situation for the United States with the drug flow. So I don't know. I mean, obviously, it doesn't seem like that's too popular. People really don't want Trump to focus on that foreign involvement stuff right now. Fast food makes you feel gross. Yeah, I mean, I'll have Chick-fil-A. That's kind of the fast food that I eat. The other stuff, fast food is just not very good in terms like it's just it doesn't even fill me up. But that's the other thing. It's just like it is just slop. You get horrible acne when you eat fast food. Yeah, no, that is another thing that happens to people for sure. What is it like the carbs or something? Chick-fil-A is the only place that has edible grilled chicken. Yeah, and they're great. They do have like really healthy grilled chicken there. You can get a. I don't get that though. Do a video explaining every floor in the original One World. Um, I mean, not every floor, but like, because a lot of the floors were owned by the same tenant. So it's like 7 floors were owned by a certain tenant, then another 7 were owned by, it's just different offices. What kind of pizza do you like? I feel like you eat Little Caesars. No, I don't eat Little Caesars. I haven't had pizza in a while. I like Antonio's pizza. I don't know if that's a they have it in Ohio. I don't know if you guys know what that is. I like Antonio's. What's another one? That's probably it. Don't really have much pizza very much. Supreme Court tariff ruling coming soon. I haven't seen anything on it. I would imagine it's coming soon. I mean, everyone's been talking about it for a while now, so it's got to be. Weren't they having hearings on it already? So it's got to be coming soon. Yeah, we don't even really have a Little Caesars near us, anyways. You think a lot of people are hesitant to support Vance because of his connections to Peter Thiel, Palantir, Thiel's connection to Epstein, and that may be supportive of Indian H-1Bs. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I think you might be online with that take. I mean, certainly there's a subset of people that are like that, but I think that's more of an online thing. I think people are just they don't know a lot about Vance in general. And also it's 3 years away, so I mean, you can speculate that maybe that's what's going to happen, but if the tariffs get taken off, stock market should shoot up though. Yeah, I mean, maybe it'll help crypto, but it might just be a fucking fake rally anyways. I mean, crypto's been battered to shit the past like week. A lot of the altcoins have been just I don't even know if it'll help, honestly. Thoughts on going to college for engineering? I mean, you'd have to research it and see, how valuable is an engineering degree. Stock market was doing fine with tariffs. Yeah, but they're saying if they get removed, it'd do even better. I mean, it's just it's micro slop. Like, oh, the stock market's gonna do better. Well, yeah, if we wanted to fully optimize the GDP growth, I mean, we could very easily do that. We don't want to do that though. The goal should not be to fully optimize GDP growth. But I mean, if you want to do that, yeah, take the tariffs off. Am I planning on purchasing a property with a 50-year mortgage? Try 70, maybe 70-year mortgage. Thoughts on conservatives talking bad about JD Vance? It doesn't surprise me. Now it seems like Vance is trying to placate to both sides, and so he's kind of going against the Zionist people a little bit with some of the stuff he said, some of the rhetoric he said on X, and it's a big challenge for him. I mean, he does face obstacles in terms of his past, and I'm not even talking about that, never Trump stuff. You researched some outsourcing to other countries today, really big in the 90s under Clinton, especially to China. Of course, it's free trade, right? It's free trade. It's not even about trade. We're trading all of our middle class high end jobs to China. That's the trade. That's free trade. What are we like? What are we exchanging? We're exchanging all of our jobs, middle class manufacturing jobs, to China. That's what free trade is like. Oh my god. The weather is cold. It's 31 degrees, so it's pretty cold. 31 degrees and clear. So I'm fine with it being cold. You know, this is a sweatshirt. I don't like this. This is a bit too warm for me, honestly, because it's like I don't know the texture of it. I'm not a big fan of. But it's 82 degrees in Houston. Is it seriously? Damn. Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense. Kind of makes sense because you guys will get random like you'll get like one cold front a year in like February. I feel like Texas. Oh, it always the jet stream always dips and the cold air comes down crazy. Like one time a year it happens in Texas. 82 degrees, man. Well, you know, if you were born there, that's how you grew up. You know, you grew up in the cold. You grew up in the cold. You grew up in the warmth. You know, it's a different type of lifestyle. So it's just I'm used to it, you know, and I'm fine with the colder weather. Sandal or slipper, I don't really wear either of them. I don't really wear shoes in the house, so I don't. I actually have a pair of slippers, but I don't wear them. Couldn't a nationalist right wing leader win the president, give military massive pay grade, storm the Senate with troops, and force them to pass whatever they want? Yeah, how is a nationalist going to win anything? Like, a nationalist in what sense? Like taking over the Republican Party you're talking about? I mean, it's just a death grip right now in terms of Democrats, Republicans. So Trump was with the FIFA president. I mean, but they're obviously paying him for promotion. I mean, how many, that's like the fifth time that he's been with the FIFA president. So it's just promotion. And they're gonna have that World Cup. That World Cup is coming up in like 6 months. That'll be a thing. Yeah, dude, that's honestly gonna kind of be annoying. I'm not gonna lie. The World Cup, and the thing is, I don't like soccer. I mean, I will watch the U.S. maybe a little bit in the World Cup, but you know, with that being in the United States, that's just annoying, honestly. Unless you like soccer. Pretend to be a right wing moderate and become more nationalist. Yeah, but then how would you have even how would you have the government set up if you say you're a moderate? You'd have it set up with a bunch of moderate people. Ireland qualified for the World Cup. Great, I'll have someone to root for. I have to root for Ireland actually. I think Ireland has a better team than the U.S. Nah, I'm not going to root for Ireland. There's a lot of the people that live in you know Irishmen really don't like American Irish. There's a that's a big thing that I see online a lot. It's funny, but no, I don't think Bannon has really any chance at all. He's probably just running for like publicity as like a publicity stunt or to try and get into a debate or something. I don't think he has really a chance. Maybe he would be the America First candidate, Steve Bannon. But yeah, I don't really see Steve Bannon having much of a chance because he keeps talking about it too, and talking about how the Israel lobby and the Zionists are losing support within the Republican Party.
Six twenty five, 650,000 deportations by the men and women of Border Patrol ICE. That's a record. We beat the last record by a couple 100,000, and we're just getting started. We're bringing 10,000 more agents on. If you think the numbers look good this year, wait till next year, because you ain't seen shit yet. Next year is going to be amazing.
Well, that's great news if they've actually deported 650K already in less than a year. And that doesn't, they say that doesn't include the self-deportations. With the self-deportations, they say it's over 2 million. So those are good numbers if that's true. Ted Cruz laying groundwork for 2028 presidential campaign, Axios. Yeah, Ted Cruz has no chance. It's a waste of money. Did you see the Haiti woman coping hard after being deported? No, I didn't see that. Only neocons would vote for him. There's no wing of the party that's that powerful to help him get elected. It's just not going to happen. You hope Trump feeds college football players Big Macs? Yeah, I don't think he will. That was because of a shutdown. That was because the government shut down, and back in like 2018, Clemson. Mark Levin for VP. Maybe that's a good idea. Now, Ted Cruz didn't say anything officially. I think there was a report. Yeah, it's just a rumor or a report from Axios. So behind the scenes stuff like filing probably and things like that, and rumors and talking to people, and it's total crap. He's got no chance. It's like trying to see Mike Pence running in 2024. There's no actual chance of him winning. New foreign students down 17%. Hmm.
Tomorrow, you're going to be speaking at a Turning Point USA event at Clemson University. Tell us about that.
Yes. Yeah, so what I am focusing on right now is the American dream. Young people need to be able to afford houses. If you can't afford a home, then you can't start a family. If you can't get married and start a family, you won't have grandchildren, you won't have buy-in, you won't have the American promise that you can have a future here in this country for you and your children. This is something that is a crisis in America. It's something that Charlie talked about often. The average age of a first-time home buyer, Lawrence, is 40 years old. That's well past the optimum time for fertility that's well past a man or a woman's ability to want to get started and get married and have a life. This is something, and it is a crisis that we must work on. We must be able to listen to our young people and hear that this is a major concern. And so we are going to be working very closely with the Trump administration and with other
They got to flood them. They got to build a bunch of starter homes, like 1,800 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. They got to rezone a bunch of shit in these areas, and they got to flood the market with houses, entry level houses, hopefully built cheap. And you hopefully you can bring the supply up, the demand goes down. I know they got to deport. I mean, it's just like, how are you gonna fucking deport? Yeah, you got to deport a bunch of people. Sure, but it's like, how does that even scale? How does deporting people scale? Like can you even deport enough people to bring down the housing market? You're waiting for the house market to crash to buy your first home. Yeah, I mean everybody's waiting for that, but it hasn't happened yet. And I don't know if it will. If it happens, I mean that means the stock market's going to go down significantly. Trump really doesn't want that. There's always a yin and a yang. I mean, I've had eggnog. I don't really like it. Eggnog is really thick. Eggnog is insanely thick. You have eggnog with like Sprite or something, it's all right. But if you just drink straight eggnog, it's not good. Benny Johnson is too biased. He didn't call out Trump on anything. Well, Benny Johnson has met Trump. He goes to the White House, and so he has a relationship with the administration. So he's a spokesman for the administration. Obviously, he's not going to be biased if he has like a relationship with Trump, and Trump is very. He's going to cut your access off if if you do something like criticize him too much. I mean, that's just the reality. That's just how the game works. – 40 million people are getting SNAP and EBT now have to reapply. Yeah, I know. But that entire program, the issue is a lot of those people are just freeloading on it. So they qualify because their income is low, but they don't want to get jobs. That's the issue. So yeah, they're trying to weed out those people. That was the entire big, beautiful bill thing. But you can't even really they just say, well, you're cutting people off. Well, the problem is, and then the other thing is these people are obese, so they say, well, we can't work. Well, this is now we're compounding the issues in the country. You're obese, so you make no salary. You say you can't get a job because you're obese, but you need the SNAP benefits. But then the SNAP benefits make you more obese. And then you're going to need Medicare because you're obese. So how many things can we compound on top of each other to where the taxpayer has to pay more? Let's just keep compounding them. Just like these people compound a frickin' Whopper and probably compound it together with 3 Whoppers and then eat it. And that's the problem we have in the country. So that's the real issue. That's the real issue we have in the country. I'm serious. It's too much with the food and the calorically dense meals and then the EBT. And it's like they can't work because they're fat, but then they just get EBT and then they get fatter. So then what happens next? Medicare, Obamacare. Fix the housing market. You got to build more starter homes. You got to fix zoning. You got to change zoning laws. Well, we're fat because we're a first world country. We can feed people, but obviously it's an issue. It's gone too far. Whether it's the entitlement programs or just people gouging themselves or whatever it is, I mean, it's obviously gone too far, and there's no course correction. And the course correction is not going to be, hey, maybe try this. It's going to have to be like these people have to, they can only buy X, Y, and Z. That's what I heard Steven Crowder talking about, like, on this EBT, you're going to have to buy healthier food or something. I mean, because this is like, I'd like to see a study on like the amount of people that, if you're on these benefits and then you're obese, obviously you're also going to be receiving healthcare benefits. So what does that pipeline look like? Crowder clip? Yeah, I saw this is the clip I was talking about. Haven't figured out why the dollar store is still called the dollar store when it costs, well, because it used to cost $1. Now, obviously, with inflation, it's gone up.
Determine what these people, everyone deserves treats. First off, not everyone deserves treats. Second, for me, it's pretty simple. You pay, you choose. I pay, the taxpayer, I choose. Milk, eggs, meat, produce, and fabric softener. Otherwise, get to work. Is that fair?
No.
No, that's not fair?
There should be some choice in that.
I don't think there should be any choice. Our soldiers get MREs and they have to pay for them. Why should someone who's able-bodied, choosing not to work, get anything better than our soldiers? Are you aware of so SNAP, because you mentioned this is true. If you go to Amazon, right?
All right.
SNAP EBT, okay, right here. So I pay taxes, right? And there are a lot of Americans who work and pay taxes, who are poor, low-income Americans, right?
Yes.
Not on SNAP. You get 50% off your Prime membership. You get unlimited groceries for $4.99 a month. Let me show you what's in the groceries. Lavazza coffee, $25. Rockstar, Ghost Energy. Hey, let's go down to snacks and treats. When you say choice, these are the choices right now that tax. Pre-filled pumpkin buckets of assorted Halloween candy. Does that seem like helping someone with a tough break? And how do we make the case to low-income Americans that they should fund that? Because they are.
Well, a lot of them have children.
Okay, so do the people paying taxes who are working for a living.
Okay, that's a fair
Right?
point.
I mean, because people say it's taken from the rich, given to the poor. And you look obviously very svelte, and I'm sure you know that obesity is a problem in the country. It doesn't affect you. Probably affects me more than you. I have some that I could lose. But the obesity rate
I thought
for
Steven Crowder,
low-income women in this country, okay, who are not on SNAP, 40%. You know what it is for those on SNAP? 57%. So working class Americans with kids not on SNAP, struggling, are paying to make other people fatter.
What happened to Braylon Hollyhand? He moved to Israel. It's a likely story. It's not a surprising story. I'm just kidding. Yeah, you really couldn't hear what she was saying. It seemed like she was agreeing, but I don't know. The Triggers love EBTG DJ. They all do. DG. They all do. Well, there's a lot of I believe that when you look at the EBT, like per capita, it's insanely. I mean, and it's not surprising based off of the income of the country, based off of the demographics and income per person. Myron Gaines went to Ohio State to debate kids there. James Franklin hired by Virginia Tech. Myron debating kids half his age again. That's kind of how those debates are. That's how those debates are when you debate college kids. I mean, they're going to be younger. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you'd do with the welfare stuff, man. There'd have to be studies done, but I think with just the population, it's like it's just a never-ending loop. They're just people are once they get accustomed to it, they're not going to want to leave it. So, I mean, it is a small percentage, and they say it's 1% of the total budget.
Are you planning on also potentially launching strikes in Mexico or putting American troops or American personnel into Mexico to deal with it?
Would I launch strikes in Mexico to stop drugs? It's okay with me. Whatever we have to do to stop drugs. Mexico is, look, I looked at Mexico City over the weekend. There's some big problems over there. If we had to, would we do there what we've done to the waterways? You know, there's almost no drugs coming in through our waterways anymore. Isn't it down like 85%?
It is, sir.
I don't know who the
Absolutely.
15% would be.
Yep.
It wouldn't be you.
No, that's for sure.
No, I think it's been,
Tons and tons.
you would say that's a big signal.
Absolutely.
We have almost no drugs coming into our country by the sea, by, you know, the waterways. And you know why, okay? I mean, it's pretty obvious. Would I do that on the land corridors? I would, look, every boat we knock out, we save 25,000 American lives. Not to mention the destruction of families. These families are decimated forever. The mother, the father, the children, they never recover really from it. You know, when you lose somebody like the way they live, if you lose them, but the way they die is horrible.
Today, the FIFA Pass being announced, the prioritized appointment scheduling system. That's the way people will remember it. So if you have a ticket for the World Cup, you can have a prioritized appointment to get your visa, because we said it the very first time we met, Mr. President, America welcomes the world. America will welcome the world here next year. We will have between 6 and 7 million tickets sold for the matches. We will have between 5 and 10 million people coming to America from all over the world to enjoy the World Cup. And with this FIFA Pass, we can make sure that those who buy a ticket that are legitimate football fans or soccer fans, they can come and attend the World Cup in the best conditions starting.
Yeah, it was lagging a little bit. I don't know why. I thought it was crashed, but it lagged a little bit there.
From getting their visa and then coming, of course, in the country to enjoy. You mentioned the economic impact, the 30 billion, 200,000 jobs, and this is just for the World Cup, and we'll build on that to make soccer even greater here. You are the #1 country in the world, the United States of America, Mr. President. You have to be the #1 country as well in the #1 sport in the world. So we have to work for that, and we will do that, and the World Cup will be very, very significant in this respect. So big thank you to you, to the White House Task Force, to everyone involved, and we are celebrating next year not just the 250 years, but also the greatest and most inclusive.
Vote on tomorrow. I just want to be super clear on your position. Do you want to see that pass the Senate? Would you sign that bill if it gets to your desk?
I do want to. Here's what I want. We have nothing to do with Epstein. The Democrats do. All of his friends were Democrats. You look at this Reid Hoffman. You look at Larry Summers, Bill Clinton. They went to his island all the time, and many others. They're all Democrats. All I want is for people to recognize the great job that I've done on pricing, on affordability, because we brought prices way down, but they're going way lower, on energy, on ending 8 wars, and another one coming pretty soon, I believe. We've done a great job. And I hate to see that deflect from the great job we've done. So I'm all for it. You know, we've already given 50,000 pages. You do know that. Unfortunately, like with the Kennedy situation, with the Martin Luther King situation, not to put Jeffrey Epstein in the same category, but no matter what we give, it's never enough. You know, with Kennedy, we gave everything and it wasn't enough. With Martin Luther King, we gave everything and it's never enough. We've already given, I believe the number is 50,000 pages, 50,000 pages. And it's just a Russia hoax as it pertains to the Republicans. Now, I believe that many of the people some of the people that we mentioned are being looked at very seriously for their relationship to Jeffrey Epstein. But they were with him all the time. I wasn't at all. And we'll see what happens. What I just don't want Epstein to do is detract from the great success of the Republican Party, including the fact that the Democrats are totally blamed for the shutdown. You know, they cost our country hundreds of billions of dollars with that, at a lot of inconvenience. So I'm for I don't, they can do whatever they want. We'll give them everything. Sure, I would. Let the Senate look at it. Let anybody look at it. But don't talk about it too much, because honestly, I don't want to take it away from us. It's really a Democrat problem. The Democrats were Epstein's friends, all of them. And it's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax. And I don't want to take it away from really the greatness of what the Republican Party has accomplished over the last period of time. Yeah,
Mr. President, on affordability,
wow. So, I mean, it's hopefully they end up releasing it, and you know.
About H-1B visas, you said that there were certain talents that Americans needed to outsource to foreign workers. Could you clarify?
Until they learn that, yeah. Like, for instance, if you're going to be making chips, we don't make chips too much here anymore, but we are going to be in a period of a year. We're going to have a big portion of the chip market, but we have to train our people how to make chips, because we didn't do it. We used to do it, and then foolishly we lost that business to Taiwan. Very, very foolishly, because if they had a president that thought like I did, they would not have let that happen. But it's all coming back. I think we're going to have within a few years, we're going, and not because of the CHIPS Act. The CHIPS Act was a disaster for this country. We gave away billions of dollars to other countries and other locations and companies, and all they did was rob our money. But because of tariffs, the chips are coming back. Chip makers are all coming back. And I think within a very short period of time, we're going to have maybe even the majority of the chip making in the world will be right in the United States, where it should have been all along. But because we had people that didn't believe in tariffs, they believed in them, but they didn't know how to use them, we would have had nobody leaving our country right now. And instead, you have almost 100% of the chips are made in Taiwan. It's so disgraceful. The good news is it's all coming back. Yeah, please.
Mr. President.
Yeah, they need to domestically make chips. I mean, whether or not you think the CHIPS Act was good or not, the problem is it didn't actually. There was no real movement in terms of onshoring some of these semiconductor companies like the Taiwanese.
On Epstein, the president also just said a short time ago that he might be willing to sign this measure if it clears both chambers. If that is the case, are you comfortable with whatever information is in the Epstein files if it involves or potentially implicates Democrats?
Donald Trump appears to have chickened out on the Epstein scandal. He's caved. It's a complete and total surrender. Because as Democrats, we made clear from the very beginning, the survivors and the American people deserve full and complete transparency as it relates to the lives that were ruined by Jeffrey Epstein, who was a monster, and all of those folks who were dealing with him, the wealthy and the well-off, and people who are going to be exposed in full transparency. That's been our commitment from the very beginning. And it's closer to happening this week. The House will act decisively, the Senate needs to act, and Donald Trump just needs to step out of the way and let the chips fall where they may.
They had 4 years to release them. They didn't do shit. They said it was a hoax. Now they're saying they're just trying to spin it.
Also potentially launching strikes in Mexico or putting American troops or American personnel into Mexico to deal with it.
Would I launch strikes in Mexico to stop drugs? It's okay with me. Whatever we have to do to stop drugs. Mexico is, look, I looked at Mexico City over the weekend. There's some big problems over there. If we had to, would we do there what we've done to the waterways? You know, there's almost no drugs coming in through our waterways anymore. Isn't it down like 85%?
It is, sir.
I don't know who the 15% would be.
Yep.
It wouldn't be you.
No, that's for sure.
No, I think it's been,
Tons and tons.
you would say that's a big signal.
Absolutely.
We have almost no drugs coming into our country by the sea, by, the waterways. And you know why, okay? I mean, it's pretty obvious. Would I do that on the land corridors? I would absolutely. Look, every boat we knock out, we save 25,000 American lives. Not to mention the destruction of families. These families are decimated forever. The mother, the father, the children, they never recover really from it. When you lose somebody like the way they live, if you lose them, but the way they die is horrible.
Mr. President, I have a question about Venezuela, but can I just first ask, the health of the president's always news. Your voice sounds a little rough. Are you feeling all right?
I feel great. I was shouting at people because they were stupid about something having to do with trade in a country, and I straightened it out. but I blew my stack at these people.
Well, it sounds
He blew his load. No, he's just lost his voice, it looks like. Epstein really killed himself. The files don't actually exist. It was a Democrat hoax all along. I don't think he's sick. There's no way he would be doing all this press if he was actually sick. Doesn't really surprise me if he lost his voice because you're constantly talking. I mean,
The mayor of New York, I will say, would like to meet with us, and we'll work something out. But he would like to come to Washington and meet, and we'll work something out. We want to see everything work out well for New York.
I'm sick. Should I have super pasta? I wouldn't be able to eat pasta if I was sick, honest. Unless it's like, you haven't eaten anything all day, then maybe. Yeah, I saw the Mexican protests. They said, oh, it's a CIA plant. But I don't know, man. You think Texas will be Texas A&M? I think Texas A&M will probably win. You're an alcoholic and you're coat maxing. You shouldn't drink. You shouldn't be an alcoholic, bro. Are the files really being released? They're going to release something. Well, it has to go through Congress. It has to go through Congress. It has to go through the Senate, more importantly, I think. If it gets through the Senate, then I think they're going to release stuff. They can't really make USC Oregon a night game. That would be a 10 o'clock Eastern start. They can't do that. They could make it a 7:30 game. That would be a 4:30 Pacific start. But the big 10 rights deal is so horrible. It's so horrible because of the way it works with Fox and even CBS now, because CBS took that game. When are they actually gonna? The thing is I keep hearing about them doing this. They haven't done this. Like, when is this actually happening? Didn't they say 3 weeks ago this was happening and then they never did it? It's just like. But and then the other thing is, I think you have to go to the About This account page. It's not an actual flag in the bio or anything. Sorry you haven't been in stream. You were in gooning hibernation. Really in November. In November. Yeah. Old enough to remember Pac-12 After Dark for East Coast. I mean, that was like 6 years ago, man. Let's not act like that was in 1990. Come on. Pac-12 After Dark, that was like fucking 5 years ago. Do a podcast with Bonnie Blue. I'm not interested. Are we living in a simulation? It's just, there's no point. There's no point even talking about that. It's just like, 2020 is ancient era. Maybe 2014, 2015, maybe. Stuffed in a blanket under a bed on a ship. What a weird story. Had to be crew members who did that. If she was feeling strange, that's weird. She said she was feeling strange, went back to the cabin, they never saw her again. Did your LSU has entered the Lane Kiffin saga? Yeah, I think it's terrible. I think these teams shouldn't be contacting coaches that are in a playoff hunt. It's a joke. You never been on a cruise? Yeah, I've never been on a cruise either. I'd rather go on an actual vacation. I mean, cruises, I guess, are nice because you don't have to really worry about anything. You're just contained on a ship. But I mean, it depends what cruise line you choose. I think it's a big part of it. Alaskan cruise. Haven't been on an airplane at all. That's pretty crazy. I mean, I haven't been on an airplane in like 4 years, but I have gone on quite a decent amount, like twice a year maybe for like 7 years. But where do you like to fly to? Well, nowhere in particular, just on vacation. I really don't think the Broncos are that good. I think they're going to lose in the playoffs, and their fan base knows it. Trade 5 inches of height for $1.5 million. No, that's actually a nice question. I can't do that. I really don't need 1 point. Well, but it's like you're 5'4". That's brutal, man. That's actually a good question, man. Honestly, that is a nice question. $5'7" balding, make 110K. That's. I mean, that's a good income for 22. I was trying to tell him. Ravens will not make it to the Super Bowl. Ever played any Batman games? Arkham Asylum? No, I never. I played Lego Batman. That's about it. Lego Batman on Xbox 360. You think Alabama will lose to Auburn? I don't think they will. I mean, they could. It's possible. It's a rivalry game. Do you like to decorate for Christmas, and what is the best time to do it? I think it's fine to do it anytime well, I think after Halloween, I think anytime is fine. But I understand people waiting until after Thanksgiving. It depends. People like getting their stuff up early. So it depends. How many years ago was 2019? Wow, you got me. You really got me with the meme, didn't you? I think it was 9 or 10 years ago. Someone's gonna have to be the fall guy for the files. They're gonna demand blood. They want someone. Clyde updates are needed. I had to put him in a room today because the carpet cleaners he would sneak outside. So I had to put him in a room. He kept meowing. I kept meowing. He wanted to get out of the room. Jimmy Kimmel's the fall guy. There's a twist. The ultimate troll. Bull run heats up in March. Who knows, man? I mean, it's hard to predict. I do think it's a good time to DCA or enter the market for sure, but you don't know for sure. Jimmy Kimmel is the fall guy. Aaron Rodgers is going to have the last laugh. Yeah, that little feud. Pick a crypto to invest into, any crypto. The Epstein Files coin.
Up, and now look at wait a minute. Let's get Draymond. Draymond's talking to a fan over there. Yeah, he must have said something. He crossed the line with something he said.
What happened in the second quarter with that fan?
He just kept calling me a woman. You know, it was a good joke at first, but you can't keep calling me a woman. Fuck kids. Can't keep calling me a woman. So, you know, he got quiet though, so it was fine.
I was gonna say, what did he say when you got over there?
Well, he was talking at first, you know, and then you get a little closer, and he didn't really say much else. But you know, it's fine. We move on.
Up, and now.
Why was there a picture of Angel Reese? I think he called Draymond Green Angel Reese or something, and then Draymond Green got angry about it. Yeah, that really is a snowflake. I mean, come on, dude. You get heckled all the time. I don't even see what the issue is. Bitcoin may be heading for a 4-year cycle low in around 3 to 4. That's not how it works. If it was heading for a low, the low would happen in like a year, not 3 years. That's not even how the cycles work. Ryan Clark crying about Sanders. Yeah, they're trying to push Sanders. It's like become a race thing. I wouldn't have smacked any fan, bro. Bitcoin's low as 75K. I mean, nobody knows if it's the end of the cycle or not. So if it's not, I mean, the low could be really anything. I guess where there's support levels, it's probably if it's 75K. What has been your favorite of the 2020s? Favorite what movie? I don't know, man. There's no way I'd be able to say that. because I'd have to have like a fucking list or remember a bunch of movies that came out in the 2020s. It's been a tough decade, you know, for movies. Social Network too, probably in 2027, honestly, if they just announced it. Did you enjoy Titanic? I did enjoy Titanic. Titanic's a good movie. You gonna announce your candidacy for governorship of Ohio? That's all Vivek. That's all Vivek. We'll see. Vivek against Amy Acton. You know, Amy Acton put out this ad. Amy Acton sounds there's like something wrong. I don't know what she sounds slow, honestly, in her ads. They've been showing her ads in Ohio, and I mean, I don't think she's gonna win. She just sounds like she's I don't know, not all there.
Yeah, this is a busy and popular park. Already this morning, we've seen several people out alone on walks. Police say that a woman was on a jog when a man attacked her with a hammer. This all happened on Thursday around 5 p.m. The details here, they're disturbing. Plano police tell us the woman was hit in the head with the hammer several times. She managed to fight the man off and he ran away. 4 hours later, police had a suspect in custody. They arrested 17-year-old Sergio Noe de Nova Duerte, an illegal migrant from Mexico. According to DHS, he came in on a tourist visa, and then in March of 2024, he was arrested for burglary and larceny. He was arrested under the Biden administration and was released back into the community with a notice to appear. Now, the woman was taken to the hospital with serious injuries, but police say it could have been a lot worse because duct tape was found at the scene. Many people in this area are on high alert right now, looking out for one another.
You think a construction guy, 17 years old? Wow. Never trust anyone with more than 3 names. It can become an issue. Thoughts on smoking weed casually? I don't like weed, man. So I don't smoke weed, but I think it smells bad. People do it. Some people are able to function better with it, but I think it causes less productivity for people overall. Does Matt Walsh leave the Daily Wire? I don't know. Probably not. I mean, it seems like if he would have left already, I think. Broke up with your girlfriend watching your show is healing. I think you're trolling. Favorite place to visit in NYC? I've never been to NYC, so I don't know. I think you got me confused with someone else, maybe. Yeah, weed makes you content. That's the problem with it. Having Matt Walsh say he's America only when he works out. I think the entire thing is cringy, honestly. Like, I'm America only, America first, America only, Israel first. You went to watch really old football streams. Yeah, I had a few decent ones. When there were big games, I guess. Thoughts on Trump first term versus second? He's more calculate. I think he's better in his. I mean, he better be better in his second. He's got a better cabinet. How about Saturday college football recap streams? I don't think they would go well, man. I think it's just like, an issue with the subscriber base. When I was doing those football streams, I had like 80% of my subscribers were football fans. So obviously now that's a lot different. I think it would not go well. Would you do a watch along for Natty if you hit half a mil? Hit 1 million subs? I've already done watch alongs for Natty. Dude, I think actually the only watch along for Natty I've done is Georgia against TCU. That's pretty funny. That's when I used to do the college football games. Was like 2022 maybe or something. Whenever that game happened, and the Georgia Ohio State game and Michigan Ohio State, and then like Ohio State Notre Dame, FSU. The FSU game I did, I think, against someone. I don't remember. What's your take on March Madness? It's hard to say. I mean, I would say like Duke, BYU maybe. Duke, BYU. Actually Houston. Well, Houston has kind of struggled, but FSU versus Oregon, 2014. Mariota Winston. Yeah, that definitely wasn't streaming then. No, I don't think Vanderbilt will make the playoff, honestly. Ever go to Kyle Field, head to the northeast entrance? I'll tell you something. Kyle Field looks so imposing, man. Kyle Field, I know it doesn't have the biggest capacity. That's an insanely just imposing stadium. I guess it's the way the seating is configured and the way they did that renovation. They added on all those seats in like 2014. But yeah, Kyle Field, it always gets me, and they've got all those flags. It's just like it almost has like the just like a Titanic type of building, and it just feels like a massive building compared to all the other college football stadiums. I think it might just be on TV. That's how it looks. And a lot of the other stadiums, they were designed a long time ago, and then they just get added on. But I guess that's what happened to A&M too. Would you be a Democrat if it were the 60s or 70s? Probably a socialist, probably a communist. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm ever going to go to the stadium. I appreciate the pointers, but um, it just looks like it just looks like an imposing stadium just looking at it from the TV. A&M Stadium is actually huge. Yeah, no, I know it is. I mean, in capacity, it's not the biggest, but it like just the way it's built, the architecture of it makes it look like the biggest stadium in college football for whatever reason. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this live stream. I'm gonna end it there. Still massive, 102K. Yeah, it's like the fourth biggest. I'm just saying, it looks like it looks like it's way bigger than like Michigan. 'Cause Michigan's just a giant bowl, but have you been going to the gym? No, I haven't been.